I see you, champion. Sit. A caravan of Oseram made camp in the still sands south of here. We've tolerated them so far. But their leader is a greedy profiteer, and he's bringing in all kinds of supplies from no man's land. They'd better hope our commander doesn't decide to supply them with a swift death instead.
I'm sure there's more important things on your commander's mind. Maybe I should check up on Porgif and his crew. See what they're up to.
Your loss.
So, we're fighting immortals from the stars now?
Welcome back. Hello, Aloy.
Hey, Gaia. So, me and Beta, I guess you heard what happened.
Yes. I am continuously impressed by the complexity of human relationships. Despite the unpleasant circumstances that led to your quarrel, I am pleased to see you have both found an agreeable resolution.
Well, two heads are better than one, right?
Yes, I believe so. Are you ready to depart for Cauldron Gemini? Or we can continue our conversation, if you like.
So, about Beta. I never really saw the difference between us, until now. She's been through so much. Completely alone.
You have both endured many hardships. Different in almost every respect, yet equally remarkable. I like to think of you as two miracles, born of Elizabeth Sobek.
3, then. Let's not forget about you, Gaia. All this data I've picked up in ancient bunkers and ruins. I guess I never really thought that other people would be looking at it.
Based on my observations, your companions engage quite frequently with this material. Erend has asked on numerous occasions about birthday parties. He appears perplexed by the tradition of serving a sweet confection, as it conflicts with the Oseram tradition of serving sparkling stout ale. He also suggested we host a party for you, as a surprise.
Yeah, no thanks.
That is what I predicted.
Is Katalo getting along with everyone?
Yes, though he prefers to spend most of the time alone. He appears to be collating data on war machine progression and significant battles during the Pharaoh Plague, to aid in the creation of a war map of Operation Enduring Victory. I believe he aims to study the tactics of old world warfare.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
It appears to be a private pastime for him. He has repeatedly declined my offers to assist his research.
How's all of us settling in?
As soon as she arrived, Alva was eager to study the data in the archive. A particular file soon caught her attention. Information about a machine assistant devoted to keeping living spaces neat and orderly. I informed her that once I am empowered with the abilities of Hephaestus, I may be able to design such a machine.
I'm sure she'll like that. When I set out to find a way to bring you back, I never thought we'd be here, like this. among friends?
They have all come a long way with their improvised educations. Varl has suggested that one day we might extend this model to more tribal inhabitants, once the biosphere has been stabilized.
Yeah, that's not such a bad idea. As long as you're the one running the lessons. So now that you have Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon, how's the biosphere looking?
In the local region, conditions have improved. Superstorms have subsided. Water sources have been purified, and soil conditions remediated. These improvements will stave off environmental collapse for a few additional months.
Well, with luck, soon you'll have Hephaestus. Then you'll be able to fix the biosphere for good, right?
Correct. I will be able to design and produce robotic agents to permanently reverse the environmental damage that has accumulated.
So our plan to capture Hephaestus. Let's go over it again.
As you wish. Thanks to Beta's test, we now know that Hephaestus will not respond to your Alpha clearance.
Which is why I got Ted Farrow's Omega clearance.
Correct. While you were gone, Beta constructed the transport rig and pulse generators. When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Hephaestus. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
How long will that take?
Because the work will be split between you and Beta,
And during that, the others will create a distraction for...
Correct. The energy surge should...
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat... There's something I've been wondering. How could Ted Farrow create a clearance level higher than Alpha? Elizabeth made sure he wouldn't
It is plausible he tasked his to the Zero Dawn system, my predecessor, until he activated. It is, in effect, a blind spot. One that will allow us to subdue Hephaestus.
I found some data in one of the rooms you unlocked. It mentioned that there are still functional seed banks beneath this facility. Why is it there?
My predecessor was tasked with reconstituting the biosphere with primary and secondary plant species. Had everything been able to introduce
Can we access them?
Unfortunately, it will have to in order to...
And for that we need Hephaestus. So the facility where I recovered Demeter used to be... It's where they created the biomass conversion set. Did Elizabeth know that...
It is likely she was briefed, though her focus...
That makes sense. But if they've been able to deploy it...
Using the data, I ran several simulations. In all, deactivate.
So Zero Dawn. There was a lot of data in the green... Do you think it'll help the Quen fix their homeland?
I will run a query. Complete. Novel crop production method.
But new crops aren't going to save the world.
It is.
So what do you think Ted would have done if his life extension treatments had worked?
It seems he convinced himself it was his duty, given the tribal nature of new humans, and his ability to use Omega. I imagine he would have to worship him as their patriarch.
Okay. Aside from Gaia Prime and Thebes, there was one other underground facility that was sealed before Elysium. The place where Zero Dawn staff. Do you know what happened to it?
Elysium was designed to provide life support for 100 years. My data indicates the facility went on.
Did the Pharaoh Plague find?
Unknown.
So what will happen to this place?
All systems within, as Minerva will no longer, the facility will be exposed. Though without my presence, it is
Let's hope so. So Gemini has 2 data cores, but you mentioned something about...
When my predecessor construction was, the data core had, so, a second core was built.
Lucky for us.
No, though
Gaia?
her presence is interwoven with my memories. We exchanged. It was the first listening to...
Your friend.
Yes, though
She was okay with... Thanks. Okay, people. It's time to head out.
I'll get everyone together.
Connections in place. Booting up.
Beta, Aloy. I am fully installed on this core and ready to connect to the Cauldron network.
It's good to hear your voice. Erend, everyone. Fire your pulses and sound off.
I'm at my Cauldron. This thingy, it's blinking. Did I do it right? In position at my Cauldron. My pulse generator is blinking also.
That means they're working. I'm in position, and mine is too. Mine as well.
Okay. Radio silence until I give the all clear. Signing off. Gaia, let's cage the beast.
Connecting to the Cauldron network now.
Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating Omega clearance. Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating Omega clearance.
Clearance confirmed. Initiating containment sequence.
Escape containment.
Lock it down!
Terminating external connections.
It's working. It's got nowhere to go.
Initiating contingency 13F.
Wait, what's that?
Malware detected. Attempting to compensate.
It's cracked.
Look!
Autonomous defenses. Directive neutralize.
That means machines are on their way. Get ready!
Here they come!
Four will stay here. Protect Beta.
Got it!
Be careful!
That grapple will blast the machine! Whoa! Watch the shrapnel! Stay back!
Aloy! Help!
Get back! Let me know if you need any help!
It's all done for now. You two okay?
Still breathing.
Aloy, Festus can't escape, but it must have fled deeper into the facility. I'll drive it back here.
I'll get the cracked core fixed in the meantime.
Chase after Festus. Force it out of wherever it's hiding. Make it retreat to the core. Into your focus feet. You should know there's a huge power draw coming from the next chamber.
Thanks for the heads up. I'm almost there. It's some kind of production chamber. Festus is up to something, all right?
What kind of machine is it trying to build?
I don't know, but I'm gonna shut it down. Those metal carriers will lead me to where it's getting materials from.
I bet that's where Festus is hiding too.
Looks like there are a couple of ways I could go. Machines are making a beeline for another chamber. I better follow them. Shotgun range. Over the shield.
Aloy, I've managed to rewire most of the components in the core, but the energy processor's cracked. Without a way to fabricate another... Gotta find a way past the shield.
Be able to catch a ride on one of those metal carriers. should deal with these machines first. Oh, great. The machines on the Beta! Hephaestus has locked me out of the node. Any ideas?
I'll see what I can do.
Engage manufacturing cycle X.
We got them all.
I tapped into the core's network hub. I managed to disrupt Hephaestus' control of the node. You should be able to override it.
Nice. Thanks.
It sounds like it fled to another chamber.
Well, it better not get comfortable.
Energy containment fail. Safe over.
Great. Hephaestus covered the floor with lightning. I gotta find a way over it.
Aloy! More machines keep coming! Please tell me you're getting close!
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm smashing through a lot of machines on my side, too.
I guess Aaron's missing out!
Anyway, I'm making progress on the bypass, but I need something to hold the cycling module together.
Maybe a ligament from one of the machine carcasses?
Right? Or some luminous braiding.
And you could reinforce it with a conversion cylinder.
For increased connectivity, I think...
Alright. To drive Hephaestus out of here.
There should be another node to override.
Got it.
Intruder detected. Activating countermeasures. Fresh solid order live. 6 defenses deployed.
Oh, here we go again.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. I'll try to get your access back. Node access restored. Now you can operate it.
Good work.
You did the heavy lifting.
Okay. Festus is running out of places to hide.
Aloy? I just registered a huge energy surge back in the production chamber. Something big is happening.
Here too. Everything's glowing.
The machine Festus was building. It must have finished it.
It's powerful, whatever it is. I'm almost done with the core repairs. Should we come to you? Maybe I could distract the machine if...
No, Beta. Just stay where you are, okay? Handling the machine's my job.
It's safe.
Deploying priority unit S.
I should scan it first. Seems like its legs are glowing. I think it's charging up. It's done.
You did it! There should be one more node to override.
Good. Stand by. I'm sending Hephaestus back to you. No more hiding, Hephaestus!
Facility core.
Got it! Festus is back in the core!
Make sure it stays there. I'm heading back.
And then we can start the merge.
Because of you, Beta. I'm glad you came along. And you, Laurel. We couldn't have done any of this without you.
Right back at you, Aloy.
Aloy, the bypass is done.
The core is stable.
Festus is 100% contained.
Now we better get started with the merge.
It's all set up. Gaia, establish the link, please.
Done.
To complete the merge, we need to excise Hephaestus' malicious code. Carefully.
Dissident copy. You've cost us quite a lot of time. Eric, get Beta. And squash that bug while you're at it.
Get behind me.
Come on! Quit screwing around.
Now we're having fun, right?
Finally. Tilda, get Gaia and Hephaestus ready for transport. Tilda!
I failed.
Hush. All is not lost.
Tilda! What the hell are you doing? Stop her! I can't even see her!
Beta. Varl. Where am I?
Ah, you're awake. You took quite a hit when Gerard attacked you. I imagine you must still be in a great deal of pain. I can assure you that we are safe. The others can't detect us here.
You mean the other Zeniths? You must be Tilda.
I wasn't sure if Beta would have told you about me.
Where is she?
Alive. And while she isn't where she wants to be, not in urgent danger. We must discuss how to get her back, of course, after you've shaken off the cobwebs. When you're ready, take the stairs down the hall and come see me. In the meantime, I'll make breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay. Why did Tilda bring me here? What is this?
Just a few favorites from my collection. Rescued and stored here just before I went off-world. Take a look, if you like. I'm curious to hear your impressions.
My friend is dead. Beta and Gaia are gone, and you want me to look at old paintings?
Don't be so quick to dismiss the comfort we can find in art, or the insight we might gain. My favorite pairing on the left is Woman Reading a Letter by Vermeer, a true master. And on the right is a forgery, Woman Reading Music, which fooled experts into believing it was a priceless original. Early in my career, I became fascinated with such deceptions.
Eventually, I developed scanning software that could detect fakes with unparalleled accuracy.
Is that how you made enough money to buy your way onto the Odyssey?
Oh no. I made my real fortune later. Selene an Endymion. She's the goddess of the moon, whereas he's a simple shepherd. Beside her is the god of love, Cupid.
So she's sneaking up on him?
More like visiting him in secret. The torch that Cupid bears represents Selene's undying infatuation with him. Though the two must remain apart, her love will forever burn. This is Rembrandt painting Jeremiah, a man in mourning.
Mourning what?
His home. The ancient city of Jerusalem. He foresaw its impending doom, but could do nothing to prevent it. So instead, he saved its treasures from destruction, just as I saved these works. You could say we're kindred spirits. A portrait of the painter, Rembrandt's son Titus, depicted in the habit of a monk.
I don't get it. Why would someone like you, with infinite resources, care about this painting of a boy in a hood?
It's not the image itself, but the feeling it conveys. The face is bright and defined, but his eyes are downcast, heavy with misfortune. And the background seems to swallow all light. The painting is infused with a sense of loss.
I guess I understand how the painter feels.
Rembrandt's The Night Watch, by far the most famous painting my homeland ever produced. It was commissioned to honor a militia made up of influential citizens.
I guess you must have been an influential citizen?
In my day. But not as influential as you've been in this new world. The Gust, by Willem van de Velde, the most famous of his many maritime paintings.
A ship crossing into the unknown. I guess you're familiar with that.
Indeed, which is why I appreciate this composition in particular. Though waves and wind threaten to destroy the ship, it perseveres, clinging to the light even as darkness closes in all around it. Stunning, isn't it? Paintings were the only masterpieces of my people's golden age. This is Van Vianen's Leaded Ewer, molded from a single sheet of silver.
What was it for?
How like Elizabeth you are. Function over form. Its practical purpose was less important than its meaning. Van Vianen created it in honor of his late brother, who himself was a famous silversmith.
A memorial?
Yes. Such beauty from sorrow.
She's pulling out her own hair. Out of madness, out of grief. It's hard to watch her suffer. A lot of weight on his shoulders. I know the feeling.
Done so soon?
I've got more important things to worry about.
We both do. There is much we are trying to save. Not the least of which is in that vault. There's nothing wrong with savoring such treasures for a moment more. Or come upstairs and we'll get down to business. Your choice.
There you are. Feeling better?
How did you find us? At the cauldron? And what did you do to everyone right before I passed out?
All business, I see. Well, suffice it to say we were keeping a very close eye on Hephaestus, knowing we would need it at some point. Your ruse didn't fool us, and as for my little trick, it was an overload of the senses, accompanied by an energy discharge. Gerard and Eric were only momentarily disoriented due to their shields, but it rendered you unconscious while I got you out. Perhaps some breakfast might steady you a bit?
This was your house. The one you recreated for Beta, in the data channel you shared.
How perceptive of you. Please, this way.
After everything your people have done, you think I'm just gonna sit down and have a chat with you?
They're not my people. They never were, and especially not now.
You shot off into space with them, and lived with them for 1,000 years before coming back. So what made you suddenly turn on them?
Quite simply, this.
My old focus. You repaired it? But that means you've seen...
incredible things. What you've accomplished in 2 decades of life. A 1,000 years at my back and I haven't even come close. I'm sorry if I invaded your privacy, but I had to. In order to understand. To be enlightened. You truly are Elizabeth's blood. With her drive, her sense of mission, her integrity. Watching all this shamed me for the company that I've kept. Having seen it, all I want is to help you.
Even if it means stopping your friends?
Especially so. Please, sit down. There. That's better. Now, we must recover Beta and Gaia at all costs. By now, you must know that Gerard intends to use Gaia to reboot the Earth's biosphere. Remaking this world to specifications that would only suit us immortals. This process will kill every living thing on the planet. He calls it a clean install.
Not if I stop him first.
Not if we do. And once he and the others are gone, we can work together to fulfill Elizabeth's dream. I'm sure Beta told you that there's a build of the Apollo database on board our ship. A complete collection of human knowledge. With that and Gaia, we could do everything Elizabeth wanted. Heal the biosphere, educate the people of this world, uplift them. Create the world she imagined.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. From what I've seen, your friends are invincible.
I do wish you would stop calling them my friends. And they're not invincible. In fact, a friend of yours has found a way to defeat them.
Silence.
Oh, he's been a busy bee, building an army powerful enough to crash through Gerard's precious base.
Regala and her rebels.
Even now she's preparing a final march on the Tenakth capital. When she wins, she'll have the entire tribe under her control. Hundreds of warriors and machines to throw at the base. She's been duped. They'll all perish, of course. But it should be enough to break Gerard's defenses and allow Silence to kill him. Along with all the others.
Using the new weapon he's developed.
Yes, he's found a way to circumvent our shields. Truly an exceptional man. He's planned for everything. Except you and me. You see, while his army is battering down Gerard's doors, you and I will sneak in through a back way. One that only I know about. While Silence and my friends are busy battling each other, we'll take back Beta and Gaia. I told you I want to help you. I mean it.
You said Beta is not in urgent danger, so what are the Zeniths doing?
Putting her to work. Merge a difficult, time-consuming task. They will compel her if need be, or she's the only one who can do it.
Because you people made her to be...
Gerard's idea. They always viewed me with suspicion when I attacked. That's why I created the data channel. A virtual plate.
So this channel you shared with Beta...
Gerard believes he's the most cunning of all of us. Even after 1,000 years, he still can't imagine. The channel allowed me to interact. It offered us a chance.
Until you cut off all contact.
Yes. Though it pained me.
She felt like you tossed her aside.
I was afraid the others would find out and punish her. She may not have had the comforts of friendship, but at least I ensured she... I know it seems hard, but you must believe.
Why did you make the data channel look like this place?
I built this house as a safe place. Not just for cultural artifacts of ink, truly some of the greatest...
And you wanted Beta to see them?
Yes. Her upbringing, I thought if she could experience Vermeer and Rembrandt, it would bring something else in. A heritage every bit as valid, data being drummed in. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but I'll never regret. She needed its shelter, even...
Beta told me your colony was destroyed. That you came back to Earth because you had nowhere.
It's true. After we reached our destination, we spent decades building the physical constraints to think of what... It might have been a utopia. Instead, we stagnated, absorbed in... It took a cataclysm to finally yank us out of our...
What happened?
A massive geological event. We knew of instabilities in the planet core, but we underestimated. By the time the collapse was upon us, it was too late to stop it. Only a few of us made it to the ship in time. We set course left to us.
Which you decided for anyone else.
Not me. He believes it's better to wipe the canvas, work around the smudges. No more primitive tribes, no, only a blank slate to do with as he pleases. But we will stop him.
What exactly is your plan to...
We will make use of a lesson I learned from an early age. Always know your exits. In this case, a place where Gerard's new construction meets the ancient foundation, a passage that only I can access. When Silence flings his army at the base, we will enter through this backfighting. The distraction will provide us with a window in which to rescue Beta.
Once we're inside the base, where will...
Here, in the command center. By then, Gaia will have been reunited with, including Hephaestus.
What about the alpha build of Apollo on your ship?
A simple matter of recovery, once the others have been dealt with. With that in hand, we'll have everything we need to make...
My old focus.
When we encountered you at the Hades Proving Lab, Gerard saw you as a redundancy. I knew better. You were a revelation. After your dramatic escape... Bravo, by the way. Gerard and Eric assumed you were dead and gave up the hunt. I wasn't so sure. When the others were busy, I returned to the lab and searched for any trace of you. That's when I found this little treasure. Not easy to repair, but certainly worth the effort. As I watched your life unfold, you were like a splash of color on a worn canvas.
Did you show it to the others?
Of course not. It was your actions. It's worth noting that if I had, I wouldn't have known to save you at the cauldron. You'd be dead.
So I should be grateful?
If you like.
How do you know about Silence's...
He isn't the only one adept at spyware.
You hacked his focus?
No, he's too careful for that. But he gave additional focuses to the tribals he branded.
The ones working with Regala.
By tapping their focuses of override technology and the secret pact with Regala to it.
But how did he come up with a weapon that can take down...
That's the one thing I haven't been able to figure out, but however he did it, I'm quite certain it will work. With it and the Tenakth army, victory seems to be within his grasp. Such a shame he'll... be disappointed.
So you know all about me. What about you?
What would you like to know?
Well?
When I was 8, terrorists flooded my home city. Thousands drowned, my parents included. My guardian sent me to board. Among my peers, I was the strange, all because of circumstances beyond my control.
Oh. So we're a lot alike, huh?
Aren't we? You were an outcast. But you didn't. Neither did I. I climbed my way out of desolation and used my wits to first from the technical analysis of profitable expertise in those days. But as it turned out, the software I developed was even more useful for counterintelligence. From there, it was only a short step to gathering extremely...
You were a spy?
More like a service, when I had to remain anonymous to protect my privacy. But despite that anonymity...
What happened when Far Zenith approached you?
They painted an irresistible one where we explored the furthest reach. It was only later that I realized that they only intended to bequeath this future to the rich. By the time I finally figured it out, the Pharaoh's machines were devouring the Earth. So I accepted Far Zenith's invitation. I wanted Liz to come, but she had no...
So you didn't know the other Zeniths were monsters?
I knew some of them were. Certainly. It wasn't until we were off-planet that I was grateful to simply be alive, but the others became obsessed with a kind of effortless immortality. They built a colony where machines or fantasy could be endlessly savored in virtual reality. It wasn't life. As the decades passed, I withdrew more, alone yet again. Now finally, having met you...
To do what?
Help you to fulfill a better future.
Regala's only interested in killing Hekarro and waging... What does she have to gain by attacking Zenith?
It's the price she must pay for her. Without the ability to override machines, her little rebellion would have languished.
So she trades with the Sons of Prometheus.
In exchange for an assault on the base. Pride has deluded her into thinking she can... And all without ever knowing who the sun... Yet for all of Silence is brilliant. That blind spot is what will allow...
While hundreds of Tenakth are cut down outside. So you knew Elizabeth...
Liz was everything she was. I see in you. Your ingenuity, your determination, your moral compass. You've managed to distill her greatest quality.
I'm not asking about me. Tell me about Elizabeth. What was she really like?
The honest answer, for all the time that I spent with her, she always kept a part of her. It was like...
So when you met Elizabeth, she was what?
Not aloof. It was a summit in Paris about... Because regulatory authority... Liz gave the... She had already achieved great renown, but in her address, she was just starting to imagine the next step. An AI-driven system that would actually take responsibility.
To care about life.
Revolutionary stuff. I watched her as she had spoken with such moral authority. I could tell she felt uncomfortable. It was as if giving the talk had... I didn't want to be a pest, so I...
So how did you finally approach Elizabeth?
I picked the right moment. Right as she came back to the conference, her coffee. She was fresh, rested. It was like she had braced herself, colleagues. I asked if I could walk with her, then put forth a question about her talk that I thought was intelligent. Her answer made me realize it was, but she was very welcoming. Previously acquainted. It was only halfway through the conversation exactly who I was. It was, my business was trafficking in secrets and anonymity. So that was Liz. Perpetually, I came to view our meeting as a metaphor for our friendship. She always seemed to know me far better than I knew her.
I guess I know the feeling. First Varl. Now Hikaru and the Tenakth. Your plan would wipe out an entire tribe. There has to be another way.
We are in an admittedly desperate situation, but I assure you there isn't. Remember Zero Dawn. Elizabeth's sacrifice. Sometimes many have to die for a new world to grow.
If it looks impossible, look deeper. Wait. The data channel. It still exists, doesn't it? I need you to open it. Let me talk to Beta.
Impossible. We might be detected.
It's worth the risk. There is another way, one where the Tenakth survive.
But we won't. If the others...
If you want to help, open it. What are they doing to her?
Virtual reality dissociation. The manual merge of Hephaestus will take hours upon hours of tedious micromanagement. If she resists the work, they run simulations to induce feelings of isolation and despair.
Beta, can you hear me?
You're alive. They're watching me. I can't hold up this extra projection for long. You should have killed me.
No. No, look at me. I'm coming for you. I promise. Okay? I just need you to hold out a little while longer and work on the merge. Contact again when it's time. Can you hold on?
As long as I know you're coming for me, I can endure anything.
All right. I did as you asked. Now I think you need to tell me what you're planning.
I'm going to take Sylens' army away. I don't need it. Only the weapon he made to penetrate your shields.
And how do you propose to get it? Ask him nicely?
With Aragala and her rebels, he won't have a choice. We'll be his only option.
Only option for what? What did you tell her?
That is between me and my sister. Will be Sylens' only option for crashing that base. I'll tell you the rest later. But first, there are a couple of things I have to do.
Oh. And what are those?
Lay my friend to rest. And then I'm going to use the override that Beta gave me at Gemini to put an end to Regalla's rebellion. From the air.
Wait. Since you insist on doing things your way, I know of something that will truly help you make a grand entrance with the Tenat. The ancient Horus Titans still possess electromagnetic energy cells as part of their arsenal. Drop one of those on Regalla's army and they'll receive quite a surprise. So go, do what you must. I'll come to your base if you manage to bring silence to the table.
Not if. When. Erend, are you there?
Aloy! Aloy, is that really you?
Yeah, it's me. Where's everyone else?
We're all... we're back at base. What happened?
It might be easier to explain in person. I'll try to join you there when I can.
Okay. We'll wait here for you. It's good to hear your voice, Aloy.
Just to let you know, I'm now patched into your focus network.
Great. So that the other Xenos can't hear us?
Of course not. And they don't know about your base either, in case you were wondering. I've sent you data on the Horus energy cells you can use against Regalla's forces. Reach out to me when you're ready to acquire one.
Understood.